Hi there, this is Ranjit, and in this video I'll be doing the FAQ video for this Xiaomi POCO smartphone, and I've been actually testing this device with my primary SIM for the last 4 days. So I'll share my experience, and I asked you guys on Twitter, so got quite a few questions. So I'll be answering actually 22 questions, but before that there is also something that I have noticed, and these are some of the bugs that I have noticed, and they should be actually fixed with the software update. If you play the YouTube app, it doesn't expand fully to the screen. So that's one bug that I have noticed. And I'm surprised that, this Xiaomi team hasn't released an update, because it happens every time. You can't expand it like on other phones in 18:9 aspect ratio. And also I noticed some minor bugs in the launcher. It's not a deal breaker, but I'm expecting a software update to fix this. Let's see what happens. I'll even actually message Mr. Jaimani about it. So anyways, let's come back to the questions. This is the first question that I got from Jeet. He says they are claiming that it has stereo speaker. Is it better than the 5Z? I think so. He means Zenfone 5Z. How is the audio quality through the headphones and the speaker? Please compare it with the 5Z. Yes, they claim it as having stereo speakers, and technically it is there, but it's not a true stereo speaker setup. The main speaker is here at the bottom, and this is actually way louder. The earpiece also acts as a speaker, but again, in terms of loudness, this is no way loud, so it doesn't give you the true stereo imaging. I would say the volume of the earpiece is just about 25% compared to the main speaker. So true stereo imaging it simply does not give, and definitely in that aspect the Asus Zenfone 5Z has a proper dual speaker, and it actually has depth in the sound. So anyways, let's move to the next question. This is by Vikram. How is the audio quality, and is it loud with the headphone jack? And how is the screen quality and brightness? First, let's talk about the screen quality and brightness. In terms of screen quality, again, no issues with it. It's an IPS LCD screen, guys, and it's a good quality screen. And in fact, in terms of brightness, it's actually a very bright screen. It can go up to 500 nits. And I was actually traveling one day when I went to Mumbai, so I used it outdoors in the sun also. And if you keep an auto brightness, easily visible even in direct sunlight. So you don't have to worry about the screen quality. Screen quality is really good. Audio via the headphone jack is actually good, but you have to go into the settings and go into the audio profiles and select, because the default setup is not that great. But if you go into the audio settings, as you can see, we have tons of choices, and using that I actually got good sound output from headphones and other earphones that I have used. So in terms of audio quality, I would say it's good enough. Moving to the next one, this is by Dhaval. He's asking, how is the build quality of the POCO F1, and what about the new POCO launcher? I think it looks like MIUI 9. I want stock Android. It's not stock Android, it is MIUI, and yes, they are using this new launcher which actually has an app tray, but underneath it's MIUI itself. And in fact, they have now released this launcher on the Google Play Store, so you can actually use it. So it's not pure stock Android, it is running MIUI 9 as of now, but Xiaomi has hinted that the MIUI 10 will be soon coming on this one. But yeah, you can actually install third-party launchers. That is allowed on this device, so you can put Nova or even other launchers if you want. This is by Gopi Chand. He's asking, does it support 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi and speed tests? I didn't do a speed test, yes, but it does support 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, and my router broadband connection is 100 megabits, and I connected it over 5 gigahertz, and I was able to hit that 100 megabit mark. So yes, it does have support for 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi as well as 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. This is by Sabajit. He's asking, Xiaomi has burned the market by POCO F1. Is rupees 20,000 the final price, or is it only for a few months? Technically 20,000 is not the price. 20,000 rupees is with the cashback, and that is only for the first sale. Regular price will be 21,000 rupees. But again, I'm not very sure if they can continue to give that price of 21,000, because we are seeing the dollar price that's now going above 70 rupees. If it increase further, they might increase the price like they did for the Redmi Note 5 Pro again. But as of now, I would say that 20,000 price is only for the first sale. Regular price for the 6GB, 64GB variant will be 21,000. This is by Nirmal. He's asking, please say about the back camera picture quality, because it's the same composition as the Note 5 Pro. Is it better than that? Yes, definitely the cameras are better than the Redmi Note 5 Pro. it's in a different class, guys. Just don't compare this device with the Redmi Note 5 Pro. It's an insult to this device. This is having the Snapdragon 845 chipset, which is way more optimized, and even the ISP, that is the image signaling processor on the Snapdragon 845, is far superior. So yes, in camera it is way superior. I would say much better compared to the Redmi Note 5 Pro. Even the front-facing camera is actually really good, and even though the front-facing camera just has a single lens, it's able to do that portrait effect very well. So in terms of camera, I was actually pretty skeptical about this device considering the price point, but the camera actually surprised me. The camera is actually pretty good on this one. Only thing is that if we compare it with the OnePlus 6 or the Zenfone 5Z, they always have optical image stabilization. Optical image stabilization is not there on this. This for video employs just EIS, that's electronic image stabilization. But still, considering the price point of 21,000, I feel as of now this one at 21,000 has the best camera performance among all the smartphones available in India. Moving to the next one, this is by Shivam. He's asking, how is the in-hand feel of the device? Does it feel premium or an average phone? I would say if I compare it with other Snapdragon 845 devices, yes, all of them are way more expensive. The Zenfone 5Z, the OnePlus, etc. And yes, those actually do feel a little bit more premium because of the glass build quality. So in that way, I feel this one actually does not feel that great in terms of the in-hand feel. The glass always feels a little bit more premium. This is sort of a polycarbonate back, and this is the armored edition that has that Kevlar, but even this one again feels a little bit average. But again, considering the price point, I also saw the polycarbonate one, and in fact I would say the polycarbonate one also does not look bad. If you just think that the Kevlar version, this one, the armored edition, looks way more superior, no, it's the same case even with the polycarbonate one. So definitely, yeah, in terms of hard in-hand feel and stuff, the OnePlus 6 Zenfone 5Z, because of the glass build, feels a little bit more premium than this one. Moving to the next one, this is by Saeed. How is the RAM management on the new MIUI, and does the Kevlar help the device in any way? The RAM management is actually really good. I was also worried because they're using this new launcher and stuff. Again, no issues regarding the RAM management. RAM management has been done very well on this device, and no complaints, I would say, in terms of RAM management. So you don't have to worry. In fact, moving to Kevlar edition, I would say save your money. Just go with the normal polycarbonate one, because in the in-hand feel, I would say it doesn't feel drastically different, I would say. So if I were you, I would skip the Kevlar edition, because the price of the Kevlar, this is the armored edition, is 30,000. Simply does not make that much sense to put in that much money. I would save money. If I really want, I would go with the 6GB or with 128GB of storage, because it does have that micro SD card slot for expansion. This is by Sumant. He's which is more worthier in terms of value for money, OnePlus 6 or POCO? What is the advantage the OnePlus 6 has over POCO, as both of them come? Yes, in terms of pure value for money, obviously this is the POCO F1 will go ahead. The base variant of this one you can get it for 21,000, whereas the OnePlus 6, the base variant is 35,000. So a price difference of 14,000. Yes, the OnePlus 6 feels a little bit more premium in terms of looks, and even the back, etc. looks really cool because of the glass back. So I would say the only edge that the OnePlus 6 has is in terms of looks, how cool it looks because of the glass back and stuff, and also Oxygen OS, which is more closer to stock Android. Here you're getting MIUI, but for a price difference of 14,000, man, this simply makes more sense. If you're not that style conscious, obviously the OnePlus 6 looks slightly better than this, but apart from the major thing, style, I would say in terms of performance, both are performing very well. Even the OnePlus 6 performs well. This one also performs well. No issues of RAM management or anything like that. So yeah, I would say price to performance, definitely this one goes ahead. This is by Naveed. He's asking, specs are awesome, but how's the build quality and an in-hand feel apart from the Kevlar edition? How's the poly? As I mentioned, the polycarbonate edition also feels very similar in hand compared to this Kevlar thing. It's like, it's not plastic exactly. It feels like a mix of plastic and metal without the feel of metal, the polycarbonate one, but it's not bad actually. The blue color one, the dark blue color one, especially in the polycarbonate, actually looks pretty cool. I was like annoyed, why didn't they give us the review net of that one instead of this Kevlar? Personally, I wanted the polycarbonate dark blue one. But yeah, in terms of feel, if you compare it with the premium phones that come with glass body, yes, they definitely feel a little bit premium. This simply does not feel that premium. So that is the only thing that is there. But in terms of performance, because of the Snapdragon 845 chipset, this one also performs brilliantly. In fact, in terms of battery life, it beats any other smartphone that I've tested with the Snapdragon 845 chipset. And yes, I've even tested the Note 9 that has a 4000 milliamp hour battery. This one gets better battery life. So let's move to the next one. This is by Siddesh. In terms of gaming, which one would be better, the POCO F1 or the Honor Play? Definitely the POCO F1 would be better, because the Adreno GPU on this is actually way faster than the GPU, that is the Mali GPU that is used on the Honor Play. So for gaming, this one would be my pick. This is by Abhijit. A great phone, so many questions. How is the availability going to be? Regular Xiaomi flash sales or more likely like OnePlus? I think so. Initially, there will be sort of the flash sales situation because of the very aggressive price. I hope Xiaomi has stocks, because otherwise we might see a situation like what we saw with the Redmi Note 5 Pro. Was just coming in sale for 1 or 2 minutes and black marketing was going on. I hope Xiaomi is careful about that and doesn't allow these some of the shopkeepers that are just buying and black marketing this one. But I expect initial sales will be very high, so it will be very difficult to get this device. This is by Anurag. How is the calibration of the sensors present on the POCO F1? Does the auto brightness sensor perform well? And how is the sound output? Okay, first let's talk about the sound output. The sound output from this bottom speaker is good enough. As I mentioned, even this one actually earpiece acts as a speaker, but the loudness is way low. So the most of the volume will come out from this bottom speaker, and the bottom speaker is adequately fine. I would say it's not the loudest. In fact, I would say the OnePlus 6 bottom speaker is more louder than this, but this gets the job done. I won't complain. I even took calls via speakerphone and they were fine, but I wish the volume level was slightly higher, I would say, but it's not a deal breaker. Now moving to the auto brightness sensor. The auto brightness sensor calibration is done very well on this one. It's still on auto brightness. It's not going wonky like the Mi A2 as you saw in my FAQ video. So the auto brightness sensor is good, and in fact in outdoor lighting, if you keep it on auto brightness sensor, it's easily visible even in direct sunlight. So the screen panel that they have put on this one is also very good and bright, so you don't have to worry about the same. This is by Adan. He's asking, will Xiaomi totally move to the POCO phone, leaving the Redmi series? No, this is not going to happen. I asked Xiaomi team about this. The Redmi series will stay like this. This is just a new series that they have launched. And yes, there will be also future POCO phones. Maybe, I don't know, maybe next year they'll launch the F2 or whatever. But this is a new series, and the Redmi series will continue to be there. This is by Ayush. Does it have NFC? No, there is no NFC on this smartphone. And this is by Sahil. Is the phone going to change the parameters for other brands as well? Something like liquid cooling in a mid-range phone is literally insane. Though we have seen it in Note 9 after the notch design. Is this going to be a new trend? Yes, certainly I would say this phone has shaken up the industry, because at this price point, at 21,000 Snapdragon 845 liquid cooling, it has surely raised eyebrows. And I think so because of this smartphone, now other manufacturers, at least the value flagships like the Zenfone or the OnePlus, etc., have to really work on their devices, the next version, and have to be aggressive slightly in their pricing, or even we could say Honor, etc. Okay, let's move to the next one. I just missed this question. Yeah. This is by Shivam. By adding 1,000 rupees more, they could have gone with all metal design, and they could have provided in their budget and make it more pleasing and premium. Do you think they have missed the trick here? Shivam, I think so. They have done this intentionally on the POCO phone. Remember, Xiaomi also has the Mi lineup, like the Mi 8, which also has the same processor, but that feels a lot more premium. Glass back, the build quality, etc. just feels more premium. If they would have done all that thing with this one, nobody would have bought the Mi 8. So it's an intentional decision what they have done. If you want that great looks, glass back and stuff, you have to pay almost like 10,000 extra for the Mi 8. So I frankly feel it's a very intentional decision what they have done with the back. This is by Manas. He's asking, sir, many people including me would be interested in the 6GB 64GB variants as it looks the best value for money, and all tech reviews were testing the 8GB 256GB model. Is there a gap of 8,000 makes a difference? No. Frankly speaking, I would say go with the 6GB RAM model that has the 64GB of storage, or even the 128, depends upon your storage. That is more than enough because the RAM management etc. is very good. I don't know why. I actually wanted the 6GB variant, but for us, for reviewers, they only gave us this edition. So technically speaking, no issues. You can go with the 6GB variant and the 64GB, and I feel yes, that's the true value for money. 21,000, it's insane for the performance that you're getting. I was initially skeptical about the camera, but the camera also turned out to be actually good on this one. So let's move to the next one. This is by Gaurav. Does it have colored LED notification light? No, it does not have a colored LED notification light. It has a LED notification light physical here at the bottom. It's a very tiny one and it glows only in white color. This is by Sumit. Does it record video in 1080p at 60 FPS? By default, that option is not there. It just says 1080p, 4K, etc. But we have high frame rate option, and for 1080p, if you use that, it can go up to 120 FPS. But I didn't find, sadly, a 60 FPS option. Maybe just if Xiaomi guys, you are looking at it, just add that option. I know the Snapdragon 845 is fully capable of doing that. Add it in a software update. Oops. Let's move to the last question. This is by Aman. He's asking, please tell that whose camera is better, Honor Play or the POCO F1, and does the liquid cooling really has some effect on the phone? Definitely in terms of camera, I would say this POCO F1 has a better camera than the Honor Play. The weakness of the Honor Play is the camera. They compromised on the camera, but definitely the camera on this one is actually pretty good. So camera, this one will go. In terms of liquid cooling, I would say in the last 4 days of usage, practically I would say I didn't find any issues of heating with this one. But again, I didn't do a lot of gaming with this. I just played Asphalt 9 for 5 minutes and the handset didn't become warm. But I didn't do extensive, gaming continuously for half an hour. But with regular usage, I never noticed any sort of heating issues with this phone. And lastly, this is a question that most of you ask about the battery life. The battery life is actually very good on this one. It's having that 4000 milliamp hour battery, and the optimizations have been done very well. Even when I was just traveling full day on 4G, I traveled to Mumbai. It was only used on 4G roaming and etc. Then also I got 1.5 days worth of battery life easily, and then also had about 20% of the battery left. In terms of screen on time, anywhere it is giving me with heavy usage also between 6 to 7 hours. And if you're sort of and this is with almost 1.5 days of battery life, I couldn't kill it in a 1 day with my typical usage. So easily about 1.5 to about 2 days of battery life you should get. And if you are even a very heavy user, easily it will last for a full working day, and you can get about 7 to even about 7.5 hours of screen on time, which is the first that I've seen on a Snapdragon 845 device. So guys, these were the common questions that I was getting regarding this POCO F1. I will also be doing a full in-depth review for this device very soon. So again, stay tuned to my channel. And guys, if you're still not subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care, guys.